3 months of horror that resulted in the slaughter of over 1 million ethnic Tutsi. All of it occurring under the gaze of the international community, which largely watched and did nothing as the massacre unfolded. Today, Rwanda is largely recognized as a country on the rise, and the evolution can largely be credited to unity, reconciliation, the resilience of Rwandans themselves, and to decisive leadership. The path of Rwanda's President Paul Kagame can be traced back to the atrocities of 1994. As head of the Rwandan Patriotic Front, he helped end the massacre of so many of his countrymen, and has since stewarded his country towards prosperity. 30 years have gone by. 30 years on from those dark days, what does he see as the bright lights for his country and the continent as a whole? I'm pleased to say he joins me now via WebEx to discuss. Everybody, please welcome His Excellency, the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Mr. President, welcome. It's good to see you.
Happy to see you. Aisha, how are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for asking. Last month, you participated in Kubuka 30, which was the beginning of 100 days of remembrance of and ceremonies marking the genocide. The ceremonies were attended by a number of dignitaries, including former President Bill Clinton and former President of France, Nicolas Sarkozy. All of them were there, and they have acknowledged that they failed Rwanda and failed to stop the genocide. Talk to us about this moment, this painful chapter in Rwanda's history. What are your reflections on that moment? And crucially, how it was viewed then versus now?
Well, thank you, Aisha. I'm very happy to be with you. Global Citizen is a very good partner to Rwanda and Africa. April 7th marked the 30th commemoration of the genocide, and the wounds are still very deep. Thank you for mentioning how the world came together with us on that day, and we are grateful to our friends and partners for their solidarity. Rwanda chose peace, unity, and reconciliation. Our tragic past does not define who we are as a people. Has the world learned any lessons? Unfortunately, I'm inclined to say no. To this day, perpetrators and their supporters are attempting to rewrite the facts about our history. With the social media, this trend is becoming even worse. On the global stage, we are seeing more and more radicalization and extremism. Many times, powerful countries deliberately choose to do nothing. Yet, there is a lot of lecturing about human rights and so many things. What happened to us can happen to anyone else. We shouldn't take for granted our responsibility to ensure never again is not an empty slogan. This is what I would wish to share with you on this particular question raised.
And we appreciate you saying those words and reminding everyone that the key here is to ensure that never again is not just an empty slogan. Over the 30 years that have gone by since the genocide, what would you say has been the single most important factor that has moved Rwanda from a state of crisis to this period of stability that the country is enjoying?
Well, first of all, we have to bear in mind what caused the genocide, and that it is the politics of division and tribalism. That's why we chose to stay together and put the interests of all Rwandans first. Unity is the best investment we have ever made. We also prioritized building strong institutions that are accountable to our people. For us, self-reliance is central to improving standards of living and delivering quality services for all Rwandans. Self-reliance is also about a general mindset of taking responsibility for our future. No one owes us a living. We have to fight for what is ours and put in the hard work. That is what makes our partnerships so productive and meaningful, both to ourselves and those we collaborate with. We are happy and even surprised by the results so far, so it is difficult from my perspective to know what we could have done better or differently. But our hope is that the leaders of tomorrow will do even more and better than us.
And I appreciate that moment of candor and talking about what you would have done differently, because, Mr. President, you and I both know that you're not without your critics, and so I must ask you, I'm going to push you on that.
Sure.
Is there anything you would have done differently on this path to stability?
Well, being where we are and seeing what we have achieved and what the country and the people are enjoying, I can only wait for other people to inform us through those criticisms what they thought people in our place could have done better. I have no quarrel with anybody criticizing us, but yeah, we are the ones trying to do our best for ourselves to overcome these extremely difficult circumstances.
Fair enough. Talk to me about the investments that you've made in Rwanda, in infrastructure, in technology, in bringing healthcare to all. Talk to me about why this worked so well in Rwanda and how that has been the underpinning of your economic success. And can we replicate that across the continent?
Well, there is a correlation, a direct correlation, if you will, between human capital, economic growth, and stability. Our people come first. That is why we invest heavily in healthcare, education, and the basic infrastructure. When you overlook human capital, people begin to search for a better life elsewhere. That is the driver, by the way, of irregular migration. In the worst case scenario, you have coups and radicalization of young people. At the same time, we remain forward-looking by investing in technology and innovation. We have also put in place measures to attract the brightest African minds to come to Rwanda and test their digital solutions and startups and more.
A great deal has been done. I've seen it for myself. I was in Rwanda just before the pandemic, and it is truly remarkable to see the progress on the ground there. You continue to make strides. You're involved with Global Citizens Move Africa. That's the campaign to boost economic investment and job creation through a pan African music tour. We're seeing you on stage there, looking very cool, Mr. President, on stage, has to be said. Now, the idea here is that the creative economy has an estimated global value of 4.3 trillion and is poised to play a big role in Africa's future development. Rwanda stepped up and was the inaugural host of the first Move Africa event. Can you tell me why it was important to you to be part of this? Because I remember when I saw the announcement, I thought to myself, interesting, when I look at all the investments you've made in Rwanda, why did you choose to get involved with Move Africa?
Well, let me start by saying Rwanda was very privileged to host the first ever Move Africa concert last December. We look forward to our collaboration with Global Citizen over the next 4 years. Move Africa is important for two reasons. For one, it is already building the professional workforce needed to support major concert tours. The lasting impact will be seen through greater African contributions to the creative industry that is worth billions of dollars, and this can transform Africa's economy and also how the rest of the world's young people perceive Africa. Secondly, the purpose of Move Africa is to advance a common cause. Last year's focus was building strong healthcare systems with a focus on community health workers, which in Rwanda we take very seriously. Music brings people together. This togetherness in our complex world is a strength we must build on.
President Kagame, we so appreciate your time today and sharing your thoughts and reflections as Rwanda continues its path towards stability and growth. We thank you for your time today. Thank you, Mr. President. Everyone in the room, please show your appreciation.
Thank you. A pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. And I just want to let everyone know that Mr. President will be staying with us to watch the next two panels. So again, we thank you for giving so much of your time to Global Citizen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.